Welcome back to the Friday Night 360 AZ preview show alongside Haley Stasiak. I'm Jordan Hammond. We are now joined by Salpointe Catholic head coach Dennis Bene. The #1 Lancers are taking on Tucson Saguaro this week. Coach, it's a busy week. We appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
So let's start with Bijan Robinson. He's had back-to-back 2,000-yard rushing seasons for you guys. Everyone knows the talent that he has and the type of colleges that are pursuing him. But what is it like coaching him and coaching a player of that caliber? Do you have to take a different approach with him being so talented?
No, not really. I mean, he first of all, he's extremely coachable. He's a great practice player, and he makes a great impression on his teammates and the younger players in our program because he works so hard at practice. So he's easy to coach. But it's like any young player. You're constantly working on fundamentals and tightening up things and watching film, and you're looking at all the little things that will take him to the next level. Obviously he's very, very talented, but, he aspires to be great, and he wants to, bring his team along with him. So, yeah, it's a joy to work with somebody that obviously is that talented, but also has the kind of work ethic he does.
Mario Padilla is one of your senior leaders on this team, and he's been a contributor for multiple years now. How have you seen him grow into that leadership role as the season has gone on and now here in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, Mario's my guy. He's been a 3-year starter, and he does it all for us. I mean, I think last week against Mingus, he played, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, DB, return punts. So, he's a complete football player. And he is, the heart and soul of our team. He's kind of that alpha leader that you need, and he's accepted that role. He's matured really nicely, over those 4 years. I mean, it goes so fast. I can remember, when he was a freshman and talking to him about, the things he needed to do to be great and those types of things. And now here we are, and he's leading our team, and just couldn't ask for a better leader.
You've had a really dominant defense this year. 9 of the 10 top tacklers from this group are juniors. So how have you seen them come along over the season, and just what do you foresee for them over the next couple of weeks this year, but even next year as they continue to grow?
Yeah, we're really fortunate to we're playing well on defense, but we are young. I mean, like you said, there's times we have 11 juniors on our defense, so obviously the future is very bright, but, there's also times where, we make mistakes. So we constantly reinforce alignment and assignment. I mean, that's kind of the theme of every defensive practice. That's kind of the foundation of where we start is, just alignment, assignment, and then getting these kids to know it. So they're able to play and just react. But they're a really good group of kids, talented and physical, and eager to not only learn but to be successful. It's we talked about a month ago. I talked to the kids about embracing the grind. That's kind of coming before us, and you see the great programs, the Centennials, the Chandlers, the Scottsdale Saguaros, and how they're able to be successful year in and year out. And those kids, they embrace the grind, and that's what we're, communicating to our young kids is it's that time of season where you've got to take it to another level.
You've got all these big-time players that are getting it done on and off the field. What is it that has been the biggest factor in your eyes to your success this season? Is there one single thing you can key on?
Well, I just think that, we have some talent, no question, but the game of football, it's a tough game, and there's always peaks and valleys within a season, within a practice, within a week, injuries and attrition and all those sorts of things. And so, chemistry is one of those things that I think a lot of coaches talk about, and I think the really good programs lean on very heavily. And, I think we have a tight group of kids. They're good in the locker room. I talk consistently to our kids about being great teammates and being selfless players and in practice, be a good teammate, do what you can to make the guy next to you better. And that should carry forward into our locker room and on campus and those types of things. And off campus, when you're at a party and making sure, guys are making the right decisions. So I think at the end of the day, it's chemistry and kids being good to each other and caring for each other. And I think those are some of the things that separate good teams and good programs from great teams and great programs.
This week you're playing Tucson Saguaro, a team that you've already played this year, beat them 28-12, and that was without Bijan Robinson. Seems like you guys had some big plays in that one. Just what difference does it make in your preparation already seeing a team in the regular season as you prep for them in the semifinals?
Yeah, so you kind of get a feel for what they want to do and the adjustments they want to make, and I'm sure they're doing the same thing for us. It's nice to watch some really good film and with our kids and go over the things that we didn't do so well in the first matchup. So we've just focused on improving what we do, and I don't think they're going to vary a whole bunch from what has gotten them to this point so far. So we just want to make sure our kids understand, again, alignment assignment and making sure that, we're prepared the very best we can be for Friday.
Been a part of the Lancers now since back in your day. You played at Salpointe yourself. You were a quarterback back in 1984 under head coach Ed Doherty. Now you've been head coach since 2001. How have you seen this program evolve, and how have you built this sustained success that you've had?
Well, I appreciate it. I'll say I was fortunate to play for the legendary Coach Doherty, and he had a great, left a great impression on me. And I was fortunate to play at Scottsdale Community College for John Avianantos, who again was a great mentor to me. And so you have taken all those things, and the program just evolved. It's just gotten bigger. Back in the day in the 80s when we played, it wasn't so much year-round, and there wasn't such an emphasis on summer weight room and off-season stuff and 7-on-7. And so, things evolved to, as you guys know, it's really year-round now. And I don't know if that's good or bad. It is what it is. But you just have to get these kids to understand that it's a year-round commitment. And at a school like ours, the expectations are very, very high. And so, we're fortunate, and I feel very blessed to be able to work with the type of kids we have here at Salpointe, because, they're here early in the day. They have a very rigorous academic schedule, and then, we practice from 5 to 7 at night. So it's very long days, but and again, I'm a bit old school, very demanding. We push, we grind, we challenge our kids, but I'll tell you, they respond like champions every week, and we've been on a great run so far this year, and so again, very, very blessed to work with just highly motivated kids and kids that are self-motivated and want to be great, and so we just try to help them as much as we can.
Coach, we appreciate the time, and good luck the rest of the way this year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
That was Dennis Bene, Salpointe head coach. A lot of really good stuff there.
He always is just always up on this team. Great things to say, and in depth too.
Yeah, and I think the big takeaway for me is the role Mario Padilla plays. When he mentioned all of the positions that he plays, and that's what great teams have. The good teams will have maybe not a Bijan Robinson, because he is quite a talent, but players of that, a really high caliber. But the great teams really need those kind of glue guys, those heart and soul guys that'll play wherever, do so many different things for them, and that's what these champion caliber teams have. And I think that's exactly what Mario Padilla has done the past couple of years for the Lancers.
Well, and I thought it was interesting how he used the word, he's an alpha. I've never heard a coach necessarily describe one of his kids as an alpha, but you have these alpha leaders that just know how to coach and be a teammate and a leader with their entire team. The other thing that I thought was interesting was how he was talking about embracing the grind, and how the Chandlers and the Scottsdale Saguaros and the Centennials all embrace that grind and that's how they become these champions. But I feel like Salpointe Catholic is right up there with them.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
When he was talking about that, it was like, this team is right there with them. And Scottsdale Saguaro is obviously always a challenge for Salpointe. I know they were last year too, but this team is unique. And just the way he was talking too about the character and how, I mean, we talk all the time about how these teams embrace each other, and it's all about the teamwork and how these kids care about each other that helps lead to success. But I mean, I just thought it was very interesting how he was touting all of these other schools, but we talk about Salpointe Catholic every year, and I feel like they're right up there with them.
Absolutely. And, now looking ahead to this game, playing Saguaro, Tucson Saguaro with an H, but another really good team. But seeing them head-to-head, a solid win for Salpointe in the regular season. That was without Bijan Robinson. And looking at the stats, they had multiple guys where they had over 100 yards receiving, but only 3 catches.
Right.
And, they had some running backs go off for some big plays. So I think that's going to be a key for Saguaro. If they want to hang around and be in a spot where they could win this at the end, they obviously have to limit that. And then throwing in Bijan Robinson, who I have described as Thanos, that certainly adds a new tough thing. I know, R.I.P. Stanley. So yeah, I think that's going to be a key for Saguaro.
We're seeing a couple rematches here in the semis. It's kind of rare. I mean, we saw some rematches in round 1, obviously, which is predictable a little bit there in round 2. But here in the semis, it's interesting to see how these teams are matching up again.
Absolutely. So a lot of really good stuff there from Coach Bene. Coming up next, we have Chubba Purdy, the Perry quarterback. He's going to join us and break down their matchup against Pinnacle. That's coming up next on the Friday Night 360 AZ Preview Show.